Well, praise the Lord who helped us catch these striped bass and answered prayer. And let me tell you how we did it. Conditions are a little changing here, a little different locations, about the same depths, and a very exciting new lure to tell you about. Okay, so we launched at Van Pew about 6:30.
Take another look in the good book. Don't let it pass you by. Let the Holy Spirit talk. Walk through the written word of Jesus. Then you love Jesus. La 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 la.
And catch these two guys. You leave Flowery Branch Bay right out in front of Three Sisters Island, and then there's those little islands just a little bit away from Three Sisters Island, but toward the dam side of Three Sisters Island. I'll put it up on the map and explain it more carefully. We had another one in the same spot, right? We trolled past Three Sisters Island, we picked these two up, made another pass back and forth, and then we decided we're not seeing a lot of bait there. But we hooked up with these two guys, but there just wasn't enough bait to make it interesting. So we headed over to Big Creek, trolled around in Big Creek, no fish and no bait. We thought, hey, let's go up the backside of Three Sisters Island, more in 2 Mile Creek. We did the backside of Sisters Island, no fish and no bait on the backside of Three Sisters Island, where 2 Mile Creek goes past it. So let's say, it's getting around 11:30. Let's make one more pass on the Chattahoochee side of Three Sisters Island. And this is the star of the show today. This is the fish that caught the bigger one and hooked up with another one. This is a Rapala Husky Jerk HJ10, I think it might be HJ11. And it's kind of greenish on the top, gold in the middle, and this bright blaze orange that's got the rattles in it. And the one that got off, the 7-pounder that got off, we hooked up with it about 11:45 as we're passing Three Sisters Island again on the Chattahoochee side, and we caught the first big one on the same lure. And we're like trolling 9 lures at a time, so to have 2 of them on the same lure and then another one day before yesterday, or last week sometime on the same lure, this has fast become my favorite lure. The smaller strapper we got on the Captain Max chipmunk jig with the yellow twisty tail, that's a favorite of mine. All the fish we hooked up with, we were trolling 150 feet back on lead core, and we're going a little slower today than we go a lot of days, just because it's a nice calm day. We're doing about 2.2 miles an hour. But the third fish we hooked up with, which was his twin brother that we didn't end up putting in the boat, and that was my fault. I had a miscommunication with my guests, and I always hate losing the fish next to the boat, but sometimes in the excitement of it all, the fish just comes unpinned and gets away. So the third one got unpinned and got away due to my miscommunication. But let me also mention that third one, we weren't just trolling. We had started to reel in the lines to come home, and I was actually reeling in the line, felt it hit on this lure right here, and then I handed it off to a guest, and the guest reeled it in the rest of the way to the boat, and then I messed up at the net. But anyway, so that's what's going on. The action is transferred, as I kind of expected it would at some point, because we went through this transition last year. I think it was a little later last year. But anyway, the transition was from the Big Creek area to right out there in front of Three Sisters Island, and those 3 or 4 little islands with the rocks around them. I'll put up a map and I'll show you. I'll put yes where we were hooking up with fish, and I'll put no where we weren't hooking up with fish, and we weren't seeing a lot of bait anywhere. And we saw a few bait balls here and there just kind of scattered about, including some not too far away from where we hooked up with the fish. But some days it's like you pull the lures through the bait ball, you see the bait ball, and then the lures get to the bait ball, and then you're hooking up. It was a lot more random than that today, other than the location right out there at the Chattahoochee side of Three Sisters Island. So that's a much larger area than Big Creek, and the boat traffic's not so bad. So I think plenty of people can get out there, troll back and forth, and come get you some. Praise the Lord Jesus.
Written in the word, in the good word is a message from our God. Gonna tell you all about how to get to the kingdom, the good life. Written in the word, in the good word is a message message from our God, gonna tell you all about how to get to the kingdom, the good life. Oh, I love Jesus. La 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 la.